In this video, traders, we're going to look at how Mike Ashley lost 200 million, a reported 200 million pounds spread betting. Stay tuned. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. All right, so Mike Ashley, who famous for Newcastle Football Club, also famous for SportsDirect, Debenhams, House of Fraser, etc. Recent news like that. Years ago, back in 2008, it's reported he lost 200 million. The ranges are different between 160, 240, or whatever. A massive amount of money of that order of magnitude spread betting the banks during the financial crisis. So, first of all, I just want to point out, guys, I actually quite like Mike Ashley. I watched a YouTube video of him in front of an MP's committee talking about the high street, talking about problems on the high street, how to recover it. And honestly, he came across as a really good guy. And I know that that's the first time I've actually seen him, and I've kind of watched a video with him. Heard lots of bad reports about him, but actually came across really, really well in that. And that's actually worth you checking out if you want to kind of see what he's about. Anyway, that's by the by. Forget about the guy's character, forget about who he is and what he's up to. Let's just talk about this trade. So, as we know, 2008, brutal crisis in the banks. Banks were getting hammered. HBOS in particular was under the cosh. It was getting bashed. And around 2007, it was sitting at 1100 pence, I guess pence because we're in the UK. And then at the start of 2008, it went down to about 700p. So this scale here, not exactly linear, but you get the idea. 100 down here, 700p there, 1100 there. So, reportedly, during the start of 2008, Mike Ashley went long HBOS. Now, it's reported, I don't know if he did this all in one go or if he built up this position. I would assume he built up this position. He's also known for his gambling as well, guys, which is not a good tendency to have when you're spread betting. And this is a great lesson, actually, let's just digress slightly. This is a great lesson in that the market will take whatever money you have and will reward you or take it from you accordingly. The market is a big place. If you want to risk £1,000, it will take it. You want to risk 200 million? It will take it. So anyway, he built up a position of £800,000 per point with a spread betting company. Now, was that scaled in? I don't know. The point is at 800 grand a point, you're pretty vulnerable. So, of course, HBOS continues to fall down and eventually at the end of the year closes at 100p. So let's assume, if the reports are right, he's lost about 200 million, 250 and 250 million. What does that mean? So he's basically, if he's gone long, let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say his average price was 600. So a little bit after the first kind of couple of months, maybe scaled in. If he closes at 400, so it lost 200p, he's going to be down 160 million. So if it came down here and eventually capitulates, says enough's enough, I'm going to dump it. The close at 300p, so if you wait for it to halve, his loss was 240 million. So imagine it's somewhere in between that. That's a bad loss, catastrophic loss. So the point is that, guys, even people who are super successful in business, who are wealthy, can make the mistakes with spread betting and trading. Trading correctly is difficult because we are wired to trade. We're wired as humans. And that's why trading is so challenging for many of us, and why we have to kind of rewire and adjust, is that you think you're right. This is a great buy. Oh, it's come down loads from the highs. A superb buy. Goes in, adds, and eventually has to capitulate. I don't think that Mr. Ashley went into this trade thinking, you know what, I'm going to take this trade. How much? I'll risk 200 million on it. I don't think he did. I might be wrong, but I think he went in there thinking, you know what, maybe I'll put 10 million on this. Maybe if it recovers, you know, I might make 50 million. That'll be worth it. And he was feeling flush because he just floated as well the previous year. So he had liquidity. He must have done to make this trade. I mean, the spread betting company is going to ask for the margin. And actually, I know that reports are that he had margin called. He was asked to put in more margin to cover the position. At some point, he just had enough. But the point is, he probably didn't want to risk that amount of money. And then once he was down, say 50 million, 60 million, he was like, well, I'll add some more, I'll keep it going, And then he got to a point where he's like, I just can't, this is ridiculous, I'm just going to cut it and move on. And that massive loss, and then he move on. So just bear in mind, guys, that it's challenging. The wealth bears no it just doesn't give you a prerequisite to become a good trader. You know, it's not something that automatically makes you a good trader. So one final thing is, what about the spread betting company who took it? They made 200 million? No, they wouldn't have done. The way they would have worked, guys, is they would have taken the trade at that size, they would have hedged it in the market. So they would have made their money on the spread. So they've gone into the market and worked the order for them and added a spread onto it to make their money, and the overnight charges, carrying charge as well, they would have made money from that, but they wouldn't have made 200 million. They wouldn't have taken completely the other side of that deal. They would have hedged that into the market. I don't think there's no way they would have wanted to be that exposed to it. I bet they probably wish they would, but there's no way they wanted to be exposed by that amount. It would have been outside of their risk parameters, because it could have gone, could have just completely rocketed and they'd be down. They're not in the business of doing that. They'd rather take that guaranteed money from the spread, because of course 800 grand a point, a couple of points spread, that's not bad. Anyway, guys, that is how Mike Ashley lost a supposed 200 million pound spread betting. Take care, whatever size you're trading at. Bye-bye.